Greetings, people. It's Jared here, Wolfgang One, back to do another Transformers review. So, Happy New Year, everyone. I was supposed to put out a video a couple of weeks ago and then got waylaid with lethargy, procrastination and illness. So I thought I'd jump back on it today while I'm sort of semi-alright and semi-not. And I'm going to take a look at a figure that I reviewed a few years back, and my thoughts on it haven't really changed. I'm still annoyed with it for one very, very particular reason. And it's not for the reason that everybody else is annoyed with it. Everyone else thinks this toy is shit. I personally don't. There's one thing that does get on my tits though. So we're going to take another look at it. We're going to reevaluate it today and just delve a little bit deeper. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the review for the Generation 1 reissue Ironhide. Right, here is the Takara Tomy Generation 1 Ironhide reissue. I didn't have this that long before I started having issues with it. Interestingly enough, it says here in the corner, just in the corner of the box here, copyright 1985-2007 Tomy. So this would have been reissued, let's say 2007. I didn't get hold of the reissues until maybe 2011, something like that. So I've had this about over a decade. Don't really tend to fuck around with it that much. I don't really tend to fuck around with any of my G1s, really. They're mostly on just display. But this guy in Ratchet started causing me issues that I didn't expect to have from an official reissue, basically. Okay, and I'll come on to all those in just a moment. The box is fantastic. The box is in great condition, considering how old this is now. This is nearly 20 years old. This reissue. How fucking mental is that? On the back, let's just get the obligatory fantastic battle scene out of the way and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, I keep the box for moving and storage purposes and things like that, but they're mostly just on display as normal. Don't really tend to display them like this at all because I just don't have the room. I would love to be able to display most of my G1s like this. In fact, if I can find a different way of doing it, I might start displaying the boxed G1 style boxes like this. I might start doing it, depending on how I feel. Let's just get some of the... In fact, you know what, we'll come on to accessories in a second. Let's get this fucker out the box and I can start showing what my overall gripes with the figure are. And they're not the gripes that everybody else has. Okay, so let's get into that. Right, here he is. Here is G1 Ironhide. And if you couldn't already tell from this shot just here, I think you can pretty guess what my overall gripe with it is, but I will delay that just a little bit further. Right, let's have a look at some of the things that Ironhide comes with. Okay, so first of all, he separates into two parts. Okay, so you've got the majority of the back of the van there, and the drive section, shall we say, of the van just there. Okay, put them together, and you've got the Cherry Vanette van. Right. Okay, so that's one thing. Comes with a whole bunch of shit, right? So the original would have come with a tech spec decoder, would have come with the 1984 product sheet. By the way, this isn't what this particular figure comes with. I'm just showing what the original would have come with. Comes with that. My version, for some reason, I don't know why, came with two packaged instruction booklets. One of them just like this, but the other one came with the tech spec card just there. Okay, so whatever. It comes with one tiny little red connector for one of his primary weapons in robot mode. It came with a long sort of weapon thing that plugs straight into that connector. Come on, focus. There we go. God, this is going to be another disaster of a review. So one of these plugs into the connector I've just shown, and he came with three small chrome missiles which plug into his missile launcher in robot mode. So yeah, that's what Ironhide came with. So back to the figure in question. What pisses me off? Oh, by the way. Yeah, I also bought a third-party add-on set, which was this tiny little headpiece, because Ironhide, the original toy of Ironhide, the one that I've got here, didn't come with a head. Instead, what you had was a sticker, a face sticker that would have sat just in this little seat just here behind van window, and that was his head. So when it came to the animation, basically they redesigned Ratchet and Ironhide to look more bipedal, and as a result, a lot of kids in the 80s were very, very confused because apparently children are fucking morons. And as a result, Ironhide and Ratchet aren't very, very popular toys. I will counter argue that, because obviously when the Japs designed these, when Takara designed these, they weren't thinking that the Americans were going to repurpose the toys and launch a global phenomenon, right? So these toys were from the original Diaclone. And I'll be honest with you, there's fuck all wrong, really, with this toy design. The robot mode is solid as fuck, right? There is nothing wrong with these robot designs. I don't know why everyone gets so fucking pissy about it. Especially as the majority of you are now in your late 30s, early 40s. Grow the fuck up, right? It's a fucking toy, but I am going to bitch about it, right? Of course I'm going to bitch about it. What am I going to bitch about? What I'm going to bitch about is the fact that this is a reissue. Now, the construction in this reissue is exactly the same as it would have been for the original G1. So there's a certain amount of the metal sections back here. And the thing that fucks me off about this no end is that this toy, get in focus, this toy wasn't that old, right, when I had it, before it started developing all this really, really severe paint chipping and chromeware. Okay? Focus, you motherfucker. You can see that the chromeware, there we go, that's better. The chromeware on the bumper and the headlights and everything like that. This paint chipping bullshit around here, all the way across here at the top, right? And all the way around the back of the vehicle on both fucking sides, right? And obviously the obligatory chromeware on what will be his toes and everything like that. So this ended up looking, right? Let me just put this all back together, right? There's Ironhide in his G1 form, right? This thing ended up looking like an original G1 within about a year of me owning it, right? The way that this paint, and I think Ratchet has the same issue as well. I'll come on to Ratchet when I do his review. But this toy here ended up looking fucking vintage to fuck in almost no time at all. Now, I don't know whether that's because of a certain way that it's been designed, the paint just doesn't take to these metal corners, or what? What the fuck it is? I mean, the painting on this bit here is dubious as fuck as well, but do you know what? I'm assuming that the original paint application for the original on these details just here were dodgy. I mean, this paint chip here, as far as I'm concerned, is new. Yeah, an absolute fuckfest that is, right? This thing here, the rub sign is peeling away because the rub sign's been put in one of the most awkward places you can imagine. Yeah, so that is the thing that disappoints me about this toy more than anything else. What doesn't disappoint me about this toy is its robot mode, because, as I said, people bitch and moan about, and it's been mentioned on like sort of lists on like websites and that sort of what the worst Transformers toys ever designed, and this gets put right at the top of those lists, like quite up the list. Like Generation 1 Ironhide's mold is like, this right here is fucking better, right? And I challenge anyone who says differently, right? This mold here is a lot better than the Transformers Universe Ironhide mold that they got, where you had all these sections around here were all painted blue and all panel, like sort of spray painted blue for the windows, but they were all panels and all the panel lines were all like, and it was fucking a shit fest, right? This thing here dates back to 1982 or something like that. This design, so they weren't really looking. This is fuck all to do with Hasbro, right? And the overall robot design, considering you're turning it into a compact van, and that I personally do not think is bad at all. It's weird. It's ungainly. It. Don't get me wrong. It's weird as fuck, but it works. But then again, this is just my humble opinion. I dare say a lot of you out there disagree with me, and if you want to disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. But this is a hill I am willing to die on, quite frankly. So yeah, so in terms of weapon storage, well, he doesn't store these two sections here. Okay, well, I mean, technically he can. You can put one of them under there. You can put maybe the other one there, whatever. He does store this weapon, and I never knew this. I mean, fucking look, even this weapon here is getting chrome wet on the inside of that. I don't see how that's possible, but whatever. I didn't know this I didn't know this when I was a kid, but yeah, you can store the primary weapon underneath the vehicle like that, and it acts as like the part of the chassis. I don't know what the vehicle section, the exhaust. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. But it just prevents him from rolling. So I tend not to do that. But yeah, all in all, a decent little toy. So to transform it, incidentally, you can have this as packaged in the vehicle mode. And basically what you do is you flip over the head, like you're going to transform a headmaster, basically. And basically this section slides on the chair, on the inside. I'm not going to demonstrate this because in order to transform it, you've actually got to take it off and lift the head up and that. So we're just gonna leave that in head mode. Oh yeah, my one has a tendency to actually snap off because the glue's come unstuck. Whatever. Okay, we'll come back to that. So transform this guy. It's not remotely difficult. I probably will make a pig's ear of it because I'm getting old, and that's all you need to know. So you separate the two sections like that, okay? And then you pull out the front of the vehicle like this. Fold down these two sections here for the feet. Bring this entire section up. And what you've got there, if I bring that back a little bit and raise the camera up. What you've got there, oh, you've also got to twist the little hands around. It's easy to miss it on this version because everything is block red, okay? Twist the hands around like that. And then what you've got there is the basic building blocks of a stumpy little robot, okay? And oh, a lot of people don't like this Ironhide because it looks nothing like the cartoon version. Get to fuck with that logic, right? Okay, so that's your stumpy little Ironhide right there. In fact, what I'm going to go ahead and do is just put his little head on now. So slide it over the seat. And this would mostly work. This version right here would mostly work were it not for the fact that if that was supposed to be his head and these were his arms, now his arms are way too low. His arms are way too low for his body. So if you want to have him just like that, that's it. That's about as good as you're going to get. Obviously, shoulders should be up near the shoulders. Okay, I will acknowledge that looks a little bit shit. Okay, I will acknowledge that. But this toy was designed before this third-party head. Okay, so the second part of the transformation, you turn into the sled and sort of things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take my little handy pointy thing, and we are going to unfold this track just here, and then bring that out. And then bring down the back of the van. Incidentally, shame that they didn't do anything like a, a sticker or something like that for the back of the van. That's just block red. That's a bit wank. Bring that down, and that rests like that. Then you bring out these two tank tread sections, and then line those up just like this. Split the top in half, and then rest it down. Let's get that bloody light out of the way. Rest it down like that. And then bring out this section here, which is his, fucking hell, let's bring it up again. Which is his secondary weapon. Start adding the weapons together. So let's start by taking this little red connector and plugging it straight into this hole here. Put the large primary weapon on the top of that, like that. Put the missile in the missile launcher, okay? And that is his battle cradle, if you will, battle sled. There's the two pictures, there's two parts of Ironhide together, if you wanted to separate them. Or if you want to be really, really annoying, now that you've got this section on here, if you want to upset a lot of fanboys, which I do, I get off on it, really. What we do is just connect the two, like that. And there we have Generation 1 toy version Ironhide. Let's take that out just a little bit. Get the light out of the way. And there he is. There is Ironhide in all his glory. And I like it. I like the fact that the robot mode for this is a bit weird. The weirdness suits it. The weirdness suits this toy, and I like it. And I like the fact that they when they repurposed the Takara line to become like sort of the 1984 Transformers and that, they didn't try to re-engineer Ratchet or Ironhide at all. They just went, fuck it, we'll change the animation models, and the kids will just have to be confused and lump it. That is what I like. I like that a lot. And it's there's something about it that is quintessentially 80s, isn't it? There's something timeless about this awkward poxy design that nobody else likes except me. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is that is my review. All in all, yeah, I really like the weirdness of the toy. I just wish mine hadn't have tried aging itself up prematurely by going for all the paint chipping and that. That is something I can't explain. I will come and do Ratchet's review sometime in the next month or so, so I can compare the damage to the same areas on that toy as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoyed this review. This is Gerald Gavin, also known as Wolfgang 1. Happy New Year. This was only supposed to be out fucking 2 weeks ago, right? But every time I got close to doing a review, something else came up, and then I felt ill and I just couldn't be asked. Now I'm making the effort. This is me, right? This here is me making the effort. So I do hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all the things that I never tell you to do, because I don't think it's that important. Do check back next week for another review. There's more 7 Days to Die on the channel, and there's other stuff if I ever get my ass in gear. Until we see each other again, thank you for watching this, and take care.